All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. I'd like to welcome you guys to today's review on another sewer gadget today. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Camco 3-way Y adapter. This is called a Camco Y adapter. So what I'd like for us to go ahead and go over right now is, for those of you guys that are watching this video right now, you can tell it's a little hot out here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is hot out here. So I just want you guys to know that it is going to be extremely hot out here tomorrow to do videos and stuff. And as you guys know, it's going to be extremely much hotter out here tomorrow as expected. So what we're going to do today is take a look at this new sewer gadget that I have today. This is called a Y adapter. So what I want us to do today is go over some of the fittings, some of the things about this Y adapter. This little Y adapter here. All right. Now what you can see here is this. You can see that you're going to have a lug fitting and two swivel bayonet fittings. They're going to allow you to swivel and rotate to make sure that the hose lays flat on the ground when making all RV sewer hose dump station connections. Now the Y adapter, as you can see, what you're going to do here is I'm gonna move this trash can out of the way so that you guys can see what it looks like connected to the dump station. But I want us to look at this real quickly as we begin to see what it looks like here. Okay. All right. So before we start, I'm moving the trash can a little bit so you guys can see what it looks like here. All right. So let me get this picked up here, and I'll explain to you guys about the Y adapter. Okay, this is the Y adapter. What this does is when I go to make my RV sewer hose dump station connections, I have two tanks on my RV, right? Black water and gray water. All right, so if you have four of them, what you have is you have two at the front and two at the back. This right here is made to split the flow. This is like a junction for the raw sewage. When it goes down into the dump station, it goes from either this side or this side. All right? So what I want us to do right now is demonstrate the flow of the Y adapter a little bit before we start. Now, as you guys can tell, I do have an Atlanta Braves jersey on. It's made of a double knit polyester. I'm not going over the jersey with you guys today. Since it's 100 plum degrees out here, it's really a good day to be out here doing a really a good day to be going out for a bike ride if you want to do it today. But tomorrow, if you're planning on riding your bike or doing whatever, no, you're not going to be able to do that because it's going to be a really hot ass day out here. It's going to be a really hot, slap hot day tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's going to be it for the overhaul on the weather here. All right. Now, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab some sewer fittings so that we can demonstrate the Y adapter and how it fits. All right. The first thing that I'm going to do, what I'm going to do here is this. This right here is the Valterra Flush King. What this does is I'm going to connect the Valterra Flush King to the Y adapter or the 90-degree elbow. So you see here, this right here is going to be our connection point at the dump station. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I have it on the 90-degree elbow is I'm going to start that. Basically what that can allow me to do is that can allow me to start or stop the flow whenever I need to. Okay? Now, set that on the ground. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to add the Y adapter to the back of the unit like this. Or how about this? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add one RV sewer hose to the unit. That is going to be the Valterra. That is going to be our Valterra quick drain sewer hose. So this right here is a little hot. This is a little hot, as you can tell. So what I'm going to do here is add the Valterra Quick Drain sewer hose to this unit a little bit. What I'm going to do here is pull it out somewhat further so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, next thing I'm going to do is connect the lug end to the bayonet fitting end of the Valterra Flush King. All right, once that is finished, what we're going to do now is we're going to add the Y adapter to the RV sewer line, to our unit. Here's how it's done. The Y adapter is going to go from here, it's going to go here. All right, it's going to go right here. So ladies and gentlemen, what I'm doing here is I'm adding the Y adapter to the RV sewer line itself. Yes, it's hot out here, and right now I think I'm fixing to overheat, but I'm not trying to overheat because I don't want to die from a damn heat stroke, because if it gets real hot out here, it's going to be way, way, way hot. All right? Next, what I'm going to do is grab one RV sewer line. Grab one RV sewer line right here. Grab this one. What I'm going to do here is hook it up to the Y adapter. And it looks like this hooked up to the Y adapter. Damn it. Come on, bitch. Hook up. There we go. Sorry about the language all again for the video. All right. The next thing I'm going to do here is take this Valterra compartment hose from Viper, and I'm going to hook it up to the Y adapter. Okay. Hold on, shit. Oh, y'all. There we go. All right. Now that we have the Y adapter hooked up to the RV sewer line, now what we're going to do is I'm going to explain to you guys where the direction of the Y adapter is supposed to go. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see the Y adapter real quick, but I'm going to get behind the camera real quick so that you guys can see what the Y adapter looks like when it's connected to the dump station. But let me move this trash can real quick so you guys can see what it looks like here. But I'm going to probably back this up a little bit so you guys can see what it looks like here. All right, so let's grab the camera. So move that. Okay. All right, so this is your Y adapter. What you'll see here is the Y adapter this way. Let's say this, all right? I have a tank up here, 2 tanks. I have one for my gray water up here, and then I have another one for my black water. All right, my black water. Now, what happens here is that if both of your tanks are separated by 2 lines, like your gray water line and your black water line, what's going to happen here is you're going to get a really, 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 really nice flow that's going to go down into the sewer. Okay, let me walk around to the front of the Y adapter so that you guys can see what it looks like. So what it looks like here at the front is you can see that all of the debris, all of that water that is in my sewer line is going to flow out of the sewer line through the Valterra Flush King, and it's going to go into that little elbow right there down in the ground. down into the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, no, I don't have a PVC pipe out here with me to demonstrate that. But what we're, excuse me, y'all, I just had a bug fly in my mouth. So what that does, the Y adapter, if I go down here, I'm gonna bend down a little bit so you guys can see what the connection looks like at the Y adapter. But as you guys can see here, this is the connection to the Y adapter. All right, as you can see, this connection right here is connected at the back. This right here is the back of the front of the Y adapter. This right here is this side of the Y adapter. This right here is this side of the Y adapter, which basically indicate that you're gonna have 3 tanks or 4 tanks on your RV. Now, if you have a neighbor or something that wants to connect their RV sewer hose to their dump station, you can use that Y adapter for that reason, okay? You can use that Y adapter for that stinking reason, okay? So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set the camera down. I'm gonna set the camera down a little bit so you guys can see. Excuse me, y'all. It's really hot out here, and I cannot be out here really long. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do plan on going on a ride today on your fat bike or anything, I'm gonna probably suggest you to go ahead and get it done. Go ahead and do it. Get it done later, because right now it's extremely hot out here, and you really don't need to die from a heat stroke or heat exhaustion. All right. Okay. So here's how this works. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to disconnect everything from the Y adapter. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, to give you guys a little notice here about the Y adapter, the Y adapter is basically going to be connected to the dump station simulator or the dump station ground at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, later in our next video, we're going to talk about the use of we're going to talk about another product that I have. It's called a tote tank adapter. It's called a tote tank adapter, all right, from Camco. It's called a tote tank adapter elbow, and it's basically made by Camco. And I'm going to demonstrate the connection of that later into the next video. All right? So what I'm going to do now is disconnect everything from the, excuse me, y'all. Y'all can tell my face is really stinking sweaty, all right? So what I'm gonna do now is disconnect everything from the dump station at this time, all right? So let's disconnect everything from the dump station at this time. Starting with our Y adapter, okay? We're gonna take everything off of the Y adapter. Put that right there, pick that up. That right there. All right. Put that right there. Ladies and gentlemen, in our next video, what we'll do is we'll demonstrate the flow of the Y adapter. All right. Put the Y adapter right there. All right, grab the sewer line, grab this end right here, pick it up, put that on the ground. Make sure that is shut. Then set all that crap right there. All right, so let me pick up the Y adapter again and show you guys what it looks like with it disconnected from the dump station. All right. Okay. This is the Y adapter again. This is the Y adapter. You see how the Y adapter splits the flow into 2 different sections? This flow comes from this side, and this flow comes from this side. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, I also wanted to let you guys know that whenever you get raw sewage flowing through the Y adapter, you're going to get a really nice effluent, you're going to get a really nice flow going down into the ground at the dump station. So I want you guys to know that raw sewage is really not a good thing to deal with. But when you're dealing with it, do not, okay, everybody, listen to this, do not, everybody, don't think that you can drink it too, because it's dead, it's nasty, all right? What I'm going to do here is later, we're going to demonstrate the flow of the Y adapter. We're going to demonstrate the flow of the Y adapter. We're going to hook the Y adapter to 2 sewer hoses. I'm going to hook 2 water hoses up to it. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hook up the 2 sewer hoses to the Y adapter. And then what I'm going to do is have the Y adapter going off the porch. And then that will be going into, that's probably going to be going into that express disposal trash can that I have the camera on right now. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that should do it for today's look at the Camco Y adapter, the Camco 3-way Y adapter. Ladies and gentlemen, that should do it for today's look at the Camco Y adapter. So have a great day. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.